some fellas here with me talking about different topics on the Corpus Christi Originals podcast. We got Andy Gomez here. Andy Gomez, Anthony Diaz, Ed Foust. What's going on, fellas?
Where's my camera? Yeah. Hey, what's on, man?
How y'all doing today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how'd y'all feel when I invited y'all on the show?
I was like, hell yeah, I made it.
I
I was chosen.
We paired up with Ed here with the highest view,
Oh, yeah.
he had. So I'm like, I'm gonna bring my A game or look like shit.
And the dude he put them on the motorcycle too, right?
Just blasting Tool, like yeah. I also thought like because I've seen this podcast before,
Yeah.
and it's usually like, well, you've helped a lot for this. I was like, dude, I'm gonna look like an idiot. It's like, dude, I'm gonna talk about farts the whole time.
Don't, dude, Andy, bro. I thought about you. I was like, let me invite Andy on, bro. Yeah. So what's going on, man? This Trump thing that's been going on. You guys, what are y'all's initial thoughts?
Well, first, before we get into that, like, I want to say, like, I am extremely proud of what you've done with the show, dude. It's phenomenal. I want to say it on air. Like, what you did with this show and Corpus Christi Originals, like, from day one to now, it's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Phenomenal, man. Like, I'm excited to see what's coming up next.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So,
And now Trump.
So they shot Trump.
yeah, no. Ed here, Ed Foust had. So I guess we can. So he had like 500,000 views on our TikTok page on one of our clips talking about trades. Like what was it? Like the kids should learn trades or whatever.
Yeah, they'll be millionaires.
That'd be a millionaire.
Everyone's like, no, they won't.
Yeah.
Like, well, if they invest into a Roth IRA the day they turn 18.
Like Acorn, like what was that app that they were doing for the GameStop one?
I don't know.
The GameStop one.
Yeah, there was this app that everybody was getting on, and they were
Robinhood.
They were trying to
That sounds right.
short the GameStop app.
Robinhood.
Yeah,
And then Robinhood said, no, we're not going to let you do that because you're messing with Wall Street.
yeah,
And they just stopped them
but it
from
was just
trading.
everything that Wall Street already does.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
the
that
people-
but you're not the Wall Street guys doing it, so they shut it down. It was like that whole GameStop thing was super interesting to me.
I know some people who got money from that.
Seriously.
Yeah, I know some people who got money from that. Not a whole lot, but they got some coin from it, dude.
They like shorted this. They basically shorted it or whatever.
Yeah, because the whole thing was they were gonna short the stock because once they short it and then GameStop goes out of business,
Yeah.
then they get all the
Hey,
money.
damn.
But all the other people, they were like, no, well, GameStop was doing well because the PS5s were coming out.
Oh.
And the PS5s, you couldn't really get them online because they were selling out so quick that GameStop was the only one that really had them.
Okay.
So around Christmas time and everything, when they were getting that, all these people started investing into GameStop. And all the people that were shorting it, they were like, dude, you're fucking with my money, dude. What are you doing?
Wow.
And so it became this whole thing that after the PS5 boom and these people that invested in GameStop made all this money, and then they were like, oh, dude, they can't do that because we were supposed to short that. So like all these hedge fund dudes who do that for a living and they're millionaires, and they were like, well, what they did wasn't fair. It's like, dude, we did what you guys do,
Nah.
but it wasn't you guys, so now it's not fair.
Oh.
No,
At
but
least that's what that movie told
What were we
me.
gonna say?
I'm on the Ed side too. Like if you go to trade school, man, at age 18, you can come out at age 25, 30 with a nice chunk of change, man. Like HVAC, mechanics, plumbers.
Oh, I thought we were talking about like Wall Street.
No,
whole different.
no,
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's like it's whatever, just whatever thoughts you have. It's
Dude,
not
trade school, as long as you have something that oh, I can weld, I can build this, and dude, you'll be set for life.
Like, so that's assumed, and you mentioned too, like if you don't like new drugs or whatever, and you basically stack up your money, right? You can be able to be a millionaire one day.
And do drugs after that.
After you're in. Don't do
It's
drugs.
all leading up to doing drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the
comments
American
on there.
dream.
Yeah, that's for
American
sure,
dream,
man.
baby.
Yeah, investing in the stock market for sure. Because Ed and I were actually we worked together and like in the oil field as drivers and stuff like that. And then I'm a Dave Ramsey kind of guy, and he's like, he's like, I know you're a Dave Ramsey purist, but just listen to my idea.
Oh, yeah. I'm a little bit more of that Kiyosaki. Or what's his name?
Oh yeah, Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, Kiyosaki. I'm more on his side, you know.
the debt about debt, like having debt.
Having debt, yeah.
Leveraging it for your.
Oh,
gain.
okay, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you model what rich people do, like you go to get a life insurance, pay into it.
Yeah, isn't that what Waka Flocka
and then
did?
borrow from that, and you don't pay interest or something.
That's what Waka Flocka
it's
did.
too much. It's too many. Like do this. Like
it works.
It works.
It's way more
I get- yeah,
complicated.
yes,
And way more stressful.
I can see that.
Way more stressful. But it's worth it.
Right on, right.
I think so.
Or just do a hit podcast and get picked up somewhere, man, and you'll be a millionaire.
And then do a bunch of drugs.
It all started.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. Yeah, so we were talking about Trump, but I guess
Oh man. Okay, who thinks it was an inside jab?
Okay, Let me. I'm sure all of us can agree that none of us condone that type of violence against anybody. Because that's just something that a lot of people just don't want to see. And on my show I deal a lot with like research on conspiracy theories and aliens and paranormal for one of my shows because it's fun. It's a fun topic.
Yeah.
With that being said, I have a lot of questions about everything that occurred that day. Like they apparently now that we know that someone actually saw the dude.
Mm-hmm.
They have several. You said they have several camera angles of it.
yeah, they had so people had different angles of it at different times of the thing, and this one guy did a timeline and put all the videos on one screen, showing you that the guy was up there and people were trying to say something like "Hey, the dude's up there," you know what I mean? But they weren't doing anything. Nobody was
Like the Thanos snap.
Well, like okay, so I know from my military service is that if you have a sniper position, okay, and the picture has two of them, two cops that are in sniper positions facing the opposite direction.
yes,
Right, and you have your sectors of fire. So like that this is my sector, this is your sector. So whatever comes in between us, it's going to cross from mine to yours, and it's directly facing where the shooter was. And you're telling me that none of them saw him, and like the range was only like a couple hundred yards, like 200 yards. That was super short range.
I also heard that
130.
there was like police.
It was what?
130 yards.
130 yards. That's zeroing range. That's
460 feet or
that's
something.
that's no problem. You're saying
that's zero. That's zero range. Apparently he was.
So you don't have to do like curvature of the earth and all
No,
that.
because like you don't have to worry about wind intensity because like that is especially when you have a high powered grained AR-15 platform, which I think he had.
Yeah, he did.
Like-
From his dad.
So it was the wrong type of gun. Somebody was saying, is that true?
No.
It was one of those.
It was
It was
a
the ones
perfect
that the
gun.
Democrats cry about.
What, AR? Oh, okay, an AR.
They're like, it's too powerful for everybody.
But like from everything from the first shot, because apparently there was 3 popped off from the sniper's position, and then the rest of them were fired from the opposing cops going into the snipers. For all those shots, and you only have, and unfortunately you have one person who got hit. But then you take into effect how his Secret Service agents acted. Like they weren't trying to put him down, pin him down, and move him.
Right.
They pinned him down, brought him back up, and
He got to
exposed
go.
his head.
America.
Not only exposed his head, but exposed the entire vital. And I'm thinking, this can't be like real, right?
I've seen a bunch of military dudes like on TikTok and stuff that I was like, dude, I've done protection, and that's not how you do it
And like
at all.
and like 3 of the Secret Service agents were fumbling their weapon.
Oh yeah.
And so I was talking to a buddy of mine about this also, who was prior Navy, and he was saying like it might have been a situation where they got like the B team who haven't done a detail in so long, but like if you're that high level of a detail with the former president of the United States and you're fumbling your weapon and you have no idea what you're doing and you're taking cover behind a podium and not protecting the president, to me that just screams like they're actors.
It's so crazy, bro.
I mean, I'm not a tinfoil hat kind of guy. You know,
Are you sure, Anthony?
No, I swear to you, man, I'm not a tinfoil hat guy. But when
Wait, is the Earth flat?
Kaylee and Karina and on YouTube, appreciate you guys. Yeah, so you think they were active?
So hot.
I had my wife saying I'm hot.
Freaking hot, bro. No, I've seen a bunch of like. There was also like, if he really got shot in the ear, they would be like too hot for him to be like. You know, he'd be like in big time pain. So now they're saying that it was a piece of glass. Then I've also seen like them zoom in on like a lady that's behind him, and as soon as you hear the pow pow, she just goes and pulls out her phone.
Yeah.
And they were like, and if there's an active shooter around, how did those camera people get that amazing shot of Trump just flying with the flag in the background? It's just like. But it's just like a lot of things like that. But I don't want to be the guy who's like, this was a fake election. I don't want to be that guy.
But you're, and like the other one, the other one I saw that was actually pretty interesting is like on the back angle, there's camera footage of some of the Secret Service agents who are ushering the people away from the line of the trajectory, but not the other side. He was pushing people away from the line. And I was just like, that's another notch on that. This isn't right.
Want to hear another one? What if they're not trying to kill Trump? What if they got the guy that they were trying to get?
Oh shoot!
That guy that died?
The fire chief.
Oh, the fire.
What if he was the main target? You know what I mean? You don't know this kid's life. He's lived in that town his whole time. He's like, oh, I hate the fire chief. And he's like, I'm gonna get him right when he won't expect it.
That's the thing, right? You don't know what that guy was thinking when he went out there to go and actually do.
And that dude, did you see a picture of him? He looked like a fucking nerd, dude. Like a straight up nerd. That dude, like, you think this nerd knows how to use a guy? He's a fucking trench coat mafia, dog. Oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, bro. This dude fucking plays with dolls. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get you, fire chief. You know what I mean?
Damn, bro.
So that's another thing. Is like you're telling me this nerd like got off a sweet shot on Trump on his ear.
It's like Trump had the secret people protecting him, and that one dude, I guess he really didn't have nobody to protect him. You know what I mean? And he's dead. You know. That's where my thought goes. Like, he's dead. You know, like, what the hell?
The way that they're saying it is like he was aiming for Trump, and Trump at the last like Matrix just like whoa, and it hit that guy. You know what I mean? Trump's just like,
I don't know.
I feel a presence in the force.
The president
And he turns around,
and they did a 50 Cent song. Did you see that 50 Cent was performing?
I saw that they put Trump's face on the 50 Cent album.
It's like it. 5 minutes after what happened, I just popped on social media, and I shouldn't have, because there was just those memes were just popping everywhere.
Well,
I have really like horrible friends, man.
Well, I knew the media was gonna go crazy, bro. Like as soon as I found that out, I was looking at X actually, if you can believe that, where I found out about it, and then I was like, man, the media was gonna go freaking crazy.
I found that on TikTok.
Did you hear CNN? Like, I don't know if it's true, but they were saying that he fell or something, and that he didn't get shot. Like, that's what happened.
What? No, I
like
didn't see
CNN
that.
had reported that he fell. Like he fell. Like they didn't even report on him being assassination attempt.
They were downplaying it like crazy.
Really? Oh, I didn't see that.
That's what I was like. That's what I'm saying. Like either side, they're just gonna do their own.
I heard on Fox News. My friend, his parents are Fox News people, and they said that Biden planned it. I was like, dude, in between diaper changes, you think it's planning? It's either he makes boom boom in his pants, or he's a fucking Ocean's 11 mastermind. You gotta pick one.
So you think that guy's like he's kind of out there?
Who, Biden?
Yeah, Biden.
I think Biden is like about to die.
Do you think he's like fit to be a president?
No,
being that he's like that.
I mean, to tell you the truth, I don't think either one of them. I think they're both too old. You know what I mean? Didn't they say that Trump, like, he wears diapers and he shits his pants all the time because he did so much cocaine in the 80s? I don't know that. But then,
I've never heard that ever.
But then I know Biden probably shits his pants too because he's fucking 98 years old, dude. He's the fucking crypt keeper.
Well, I know I'm a firm believer that there has to be an age term limit on all of them.
All of it.
There should be.
Oh, absolutely, man, absolutely. And I'm on the fence. I'm on the side where my state representative should get the minimum wage of whatever state they represent, and don't get that, 75 grand or 100 grand, SES pay scale that they get, plus benefits and plus everything else. That's just
You're
me.
saying they shouldn't have that after a certain time. What are you saying?
So like when you get elected as an official, you are now considered a GSSES position level, and you get that pay, and you get COLA pay for Washington D.C. And I believe that's how it is. And you don't get COLA pay for whatever state or county or whatever that you represent, because like as federal employees, you get a percentage pay raise or decrease or whatever based on the city you live. So like if I were to work here in Corpus, I get like a 16% increase in COLA pay base plus that. And if I move to Austin or Houston, it bumps up to like 20 or 21. And these officials are getting 100K plus, and they don't get that for the rest of their life, but they get a percentage of that for the rest of their life. And it's nuts, man.
It is.
It is nuts. Like if you look into like where the pay scale goes and how much they get paid after their service, there's no wonder why people like Mitch McConnell or someone who's
They never want to leave.
They never want to leave. Why? Why leave when I'm leave when I'm guaranteed my voters to push me in again in the next election?
And then Mitch McConnell freezes up.
And it's nuts, man. It is when you start thinking about how much money they get paid on back deals, on whatever, and then
I mean,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, look at the Supreme Court guys. They're taking them. They're trying to say because they're getting boat rides. They're going to Europe, and they bought his wife a car. You know what I mean? And none of that. All that's fine because they did it like they're like, all right. If you push this bill through and then you get it after the fact, it's not a bribe.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
Yeah, and
you know what I mean? And they can get gifts, but they don't get bribes. It's like,
yeah, and then like, and you get top notch information.
No, I'm just playing.
Top notch information on like stocks, trades, equities, things like that. You can pump money into, man.
Yeah, so crazy. What do you think about all this, Ed?
Yeah, I feel like we're talking over.
I know.
I'm cool. I'm chill. I'm happy to be here. I'm on this side today, so it feels good.
All he needs is the camera, and he has 5 million views, man. That's all.
Come on, Ed, we need that 5 minutes. You're on the spot, bro. So yeah, Kaylee keeps on.
My wife is very supportive.
Oh, right.
I'm gonna tell my wife, why aren't you on here? I'm not supporting
I need
me.
some questions about why I'm hot.
Being like ex-military, how do you feel about like because they're saying like veterans have certain type of benefits or whatever, and I don't know if they're taking them away from them or what do you think about all that stuff?
Well, I mean, am I the only veteran here?
Yes.
No, I got this shirt for you.
I know when I got out in 2009, and then when I went to get my first VA like psych eval, not psych eval, but like counseling session after the Marine Corps, because there were some issues, and I talk about this openly on my show also, like depression, anxiety, and things people go through after the military service. And when I went to get seen, they just said the first available appointment was 6 months after. Like, okay, so I have to wait 6 months to get to talk to somebody. Like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Really?
And kind of just like shooed me away, And this was in 2009. And since then, I've heard it's gotten better. But since then, I've pointed the middle finger to the VA since then. I was like, no, I'm not going to deal with y'all at all. Screw you.
What do you think?
Well, I've got friends who were military. They have to go through VA and stuff like that, and there's like, dude, it sucks because they ain't gonna help you for shit. They promise you all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna pay for college. Once you get out, we're gonna take care of you. Once you get out, dude, you're fucked, dude.
I got some, but it was like jumping through so many hoops and cutting a lot of red tape.
And it's just like getting like unemployment, dude. You gotta like, well, if you filled out Z12 1110, but you need Z12 14, like, oh shit. So you gotta wait another month to go get that one, and it's just like, god damn it, dude.
I would say the easiest benefit I received was my GI Bill. That was the easiest because I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I just told the VA I was going to school, and then the on campus veteran service whatever officer just got contact with the VA and said, yeah, he's cool. And he just started sending checks to the school. And I just went. All I had to do was keep my grades up and make
School
sure.
in the VA or
No, well, absolutely, man. It's free money for them. Free money for
Seriously,
them.
wow.
Hell yeah. That's why they had so many recruiting efforts after like, I would say, because the war in Afghanistan happened, and let's see, it lasted, what, 22 years? 21 years, probably?
didn't they just pull out like
Like 2 or 3 years
4 years ago? Or when Biden started?
Biden-
Yeah,
took office,
it was one of the longest standing U.S. conflicts we've had to date.
Wow.
And during that time, there was because I used to volunteer for Student Veterans of America while I was in school. I helped returning veterans.
Yeah, this dude's like a good dude. I feel like a piece of shit over here. It's like, I told fart jokes.
Probably good. I help returning vets understand their benefits and to get into class. And I did symposiums and I did conferences on professors. If you have a returning veteran who's having an episode in class, to not just expel him. There's a reason why he or she is having an episode in class, whether it's a flashback, PTSD, anxiety, what have you.
Right.
Yeah, I've had those in class too.
Damn.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a real bad situation. Like when I got out, like I was super depressed. But anyway, that's a different story.
Right.
But there was like a 33% increase of college students coming in from the years like 2006 to 2014.
Damn.
It's all they wanted was just to get out and go to school. Use a GI Bill, go to school. And if you're a Texas resident, you get the Hazel Act.
So
I was trying to send the link to the YouTube show to my wife so she could start commenting that I'm hot.
And then the videos just popped up. You know those videos?
you don't know. Hey. So use the GI Bill, go to school to eventually get it, be marketable to get a job.
To get a job, yeah.
Yeah, because
my SEPS and TABS, which was separation and transition program, mine lasted 3 days. It's supposed to last like up towards a month, where they teach you how to be a regular civilian
Normal again, yeah.
And mine was 3 days. Like they're like, hey, guess what? This is how you do an interview. This is your VA stuff package. Here is 1 day of learning how to like not be a Marine anymore.
damn.
Good luck. Bye.
After how many years?
5 active and 3 reserve.
Wow.
Yeah. And for me, I was lucky to get 3. Some of my friends like got out in combat. They took them out of combat, gave them their D214, and said, "Good luck, bye." Like you're no longer active duty. You're gone.
Crazy, man.
It's nuts, man. It was so foobar that now I'm hearing people who are now getting out of the military, like my friends who are retiring, and they're saying like it's kind of the same but a little bit better. It's like, well, if it took 20 fucking years for you to get this shit right, well, hopefully the next 20 years you'll get it even better. Like, it was it was nuts.
Dude, if you're 20 years in the military, why not go into like government stuff? Because then you can be like, all right, well, if I'm just saying, if I was military and then I went into government, the number one thing that I would do is take care of the military. Forget everybody else and all this other. It's like once you get out, take care of them. You know what I mean?
That's gonna happen with JD Vance. He's the vice president nominee. He was a Marine. Yeah, he was a Marine. So
and he served as like enlisted, not even officer.
I got conspiracies about that.
There's only been, I think the last president to have served in military, I think, was JFK.
I think so too.
I think he was
Wait,
Jimmy
wasn't
Carter,
Bush?
wasn't he?
He was in the military.
I don't
wasn't he?
think Carter. I don't think
Dude,
Carter.
I'm
No,
far
Bush
away. I don't
was. He
really
was
know.
National Guard.
But
Yeah.
W.
He was National
What?
Guard.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was
active
just,
duty.
He was just drinking beers on the
war.
on
No,
the
yeah,
boat.
Hugging him,
regular,
bro.
like regular active duty. I think JFK. I don't know if Carter was in the military. That's a good trivia question.
What do you think about the space branch of the military?
SpaceX.
Is that what?
Or what's
Yeah.
it called? The Space Force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the space. Yeah, what do you think about that?
So I thought it was funny that I'm a huge nerd as well. Like I thought it was funny that they used the Star Trek symbol as their symbol. So like it's like it's coming to fruition. Like the beacons. Right?
Beacons are lit.
The first day of Space Force is like, all right, here's the warp signature of the Starship Enterprise.
So you're like, God
And the
damn
way
it.
you know that it's their warp signature is because the sparkles are a little bluer than everybody else.
I tell you what, man, they were letting people in at the age of 38, or I think
wow.
40. They were 40, and I just turned 39, and I was like,
So they can throw them up on Mars and like, listen, you're not gonna make it. You're probably gonna die up there. But you know what? Rake up some leaves so we can get ready for the people who are gonna live. Space Force.
I was tempted, dude. I was tempted, man. I was tempted to be like, oh.
Hey, Trump should have been like Space Force.
Right when he got up with the blood on his face. Space Force.
And then click
Colonize Mars.
clicked his regalia, and he just beams up.
Right. He puts on his jetpack and flies away. The Rocketeer.
Hey, even Elon Musk is making moves too. With he's going to space and all kinds of stuff. Rocket's coming down. Rocket goes up, comes down. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, from SpaceX.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, what the heck? This is he's actually doing this?
Well, wasn't he supposed to make it? He was going to try to make an elevator to like the moon, wasn't he?
I don't know.
He was like, listen, you want to visit the moon? I made an elevator. It's going to take 2 days to get on that elevator, but yeah.
like that Willy Wonka.
He's all,
Press the
if I could just figure out Twitter, dude.
Beam me up, says Katrina Gomez on YouTube.
Yeah.
Getting
dude,
that degree money, no kidding.
My mom used to be a Trekkie, dude.
Yeah.
Whenever we would go see those Star Trek movies, all that warp signature stuff,
yeah.
that was all my mom, dude.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
like,
bro.
you see, that's the Enterprise warp signature. The way you can tell. I was like, damn, Mom. I was like, I said, Mom, I'm gonna dunk your head in the toilet, you fucking nerd.
So what do y'all think? There's aliens out there? Is
Oh, yeah,
you
dude.
think so?
It's too big for there not to be.
How come they haven't come here yet?
Because they're
Or
dumb
have
like
they?
us, dude.
They don't like us.
They're
Hey.
not. They're not.
Listen to my show, and you might find out.
You
Man.
might-
Look at what was your show?
50 States of Terror. You can find it on all your
Wait,
streaming
isn't that
platforms.
one where that girl has like personalities? That's that show.
He's got a podcast called 50 States of Terror where I don't know. Do you talk about that? I don't know.
I'm starting to branch off from cryptids and into aliens, paranormal, and conspiracies. Yeah. But I always, when people always ask me if I believe in aliens, I always revert to the Neil deGrasse Tyson quote, and it's like not believing in aliens is like taking a spoon of ocean water and saying there's no whales or sharks in the ocean because there's none in my spoon.
Oh well.
Like I always revert to that quote because like there's hundreds of galaxies out there.
Wait, what I'm hearing is whales and sharks are aliens.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. It could be
Underwater.
Underwater.
Yeah.
They got true. Did you ever see South Park when they were like, you think everybody's like Asians and black people live on the same thing? No, we got a planet and we put Asians and black people and it's a reality show. We watch it all every day. You never saw that one?
No.
South Park, guys, you should watch it. It's a good show.
Right on. So have they come before? You think they've been here before?
So like from
Pyramids, dude, pyramids.
Everybody always brings that argument.
Anunnaki, Sumerians, like I love going deep dive on this stuff, man. Because when you think about it, the possibility of having an intelligent life form visit our planet and being like, fuck this, man, I'm out. It's very highly likely because no one wants to fucking come to this planet anyway.
Because we're, dude, the way that they do it in comic books is we're the hillbillies of the universe. And we're like, hey, y'all want to come over my planet? We drink some whiskey. We real
Wow,
drunk.
that's crazy.
And the aliens are like, no, not for us. We recycle. Shit like that. It's like you gay aliens.
So what do y'all think about? I guess it's been a while. I don't know. I'm kind of out of the loop. But Disney acquired Marvel.
Uh-huh.
How do you?
Oh yeah, a long time ago.
A long time ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, has the stuff they've been putting out? Do you think it's like in line with what the original creators started with? Is it changing? Like, what are y'all thoughts on that?
No, go ahead.
Marvel, I think it's doing whatever Marvel was going to do. The thing that I think Disney messed up,
Yeah,
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Oh no.
Yeah, dude. Star Wars used to be
Star Wars,
cool,
bro.
and now it's like, have you seen that new Star Wars show that came out, that Acolyte?
Acolyte.
Have you watched that?
I've seen one episode. That's about it.
It's okay. I kind of like it, but it's that same thing where they're like, hey, these characters are transgender. Like, oh, dude, why do they gotta be transgender? They're aliens. You don't have to make them transgender. Just make them aliens. You know what I mean? They don't have to have any specific, gender. Who knows if they even have dicks or whatever? They're from another planet. Why do we gotta do that? Why? I mean, it's okay, whatever, you know what I mean? If they want to be called them, like, fine, whatever. But it's just like, can we just get to the point? I just want to see lightsabers. Do all this.
Are these aliens from Marvel?
No, he's talking about Star Wars.
Star Wars. Because Disney bought Star Wars.
Yeah,
too,
Disney
so-
bought Star Wars too.
Oh. But Deadpool's not Disney, Marvel.
Well,
Deadpool is Disney now.
it is now.
They bought
Oh,
out
it is
Fox,
now?
dude.
Yeah.
They bought out Fox, so they got X-Men. They got that new Deadpool that's coming out with Wolverine. Disney.
Oh, I hope it doesn't
So,
suck.
because like they got the rights.
Good luck.
Damn, for real.
I think they got the rights when they did Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, because they took in the Fantastic Four. They had Professor Xavier on it. They had all of the characters that Disney or Marvel couldn't touch because it was owned by different studios. And Disney came in and was like, well,
The only one that they still don't have is Spider-Man. Spider-Man Sony.
yeah, Spider-Man's still Sony.
Wow.
But to make that film with all three of them, they had to do some type
They had to make it like even the other ones where Spider-Man was like in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
They had to make a deal with Sony where like you get half of this and so now that then they made those Venom movies. They made Craven. I don't know if that one came out yet, and they made that Morbius movie.
Yeah.
So they're trying to like make Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man,
Yeah.
which is fucking dumb.
How do you do that?
Yeah, it's like why do you? I don't want to watch a Spider-Man villain where he doesn't fight Spider-Man.
Well, to get around that, they introduced like Miles Morales, and they introduced Gwen Stacy as Spider-Girl and things like that to get around that shit. Yeah, but the mouse now owns it all.
No.
Oh, dude, and Deadpool was like the unpolitically correct.
Well, Deadpool's still rated R.
Well,
movie.
they said they're still going to make it rated R, but
It is.
They're folding it in with the rest of the Thanos and all that shit. Yeah.
Well, eventually it's gonna suck. What do y'all think?
No.
Have you seen any of the new ones?
The new ones? I stopped watching after the Endgame.
Yeah.
I stopped watching after that
See,
last
all
one.
these new ones. Maybe the Spider-Man where the 3 Spider-Mans came out was pretty cool. I can't really name another cool one, dude.
Damn,
they've
bro.
all sucked since then. And this is my idea why. Is this time through their first run of like we're gonna fight Thanos at the end.
Yeah.
we were already on the second Avengers. You know what I mean? They'd already put everybody together like, yeah, this is where we're headed.
Mm-hmm.
Now everything's like TV shows and this one movie and it kind of relates and then they're spreading it out too much where it's like and every little thing that they're also going, hey, the X-Men are coming. The X-Men is like, dude, just give me the fucking X-Men, dude. I just want to see the X-Men already.
It's all marketing, dude. It's all marketing because what happened is I think they got way too big for their first major project, the 22 movie stretch that they did. It got way too big. And was like, you know what we can do? We can make this double. So they started doing the Loki shows, the WandaVision shows, and all that stuff.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, to try to tie all this shit in, but now it's too cluttered. And you're taking time. I can read a comic book in the same amount of time, like for 10 minutes. I can read a comic book, and instead of watching a 2-hour movie, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Damn.
You know?
I've always been a visual dude rather than the comics. So like I kind of like the movies, you know, and then whenever Disney acquired, I was like, damn. And then like the Avengers was the last one that I had seen. And I was like, I don't want to see nothing else after that. I wish it was that, but continued. You know what I mean?
Dude, I almost got a fight in that first Avengers.
Damn, seriously?
Yeah.
Like that?
Because that was back if you live here in Corpus, you know what I mean? That was back when you couldn't you couldn't like reserve your seat in the theater.
You couldn't
do
Oh,
that.
dude,
So you had to go, like, if you wanted to go see the movie, you had to wait in line for fucking 2 hours just to get a good seat. And so I went to go see the midnight show, and I
Wait,
waited
that
there.
Tinseltown?
No, it was at what's the other one?
16?
Yeah, the one over there by Applebee's.
Okay.
Century.
The Century.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
16? Oh, yeah.
The not ghetto one.
Ooh, I don't know.
Are we talking the 90s?
Well, so I waited 2 hours, dude, in that line just to get to go see that movie. And then I'm sitting there, and there's some kid in front of me. So at the very end of that movie, you see Avengers, right? Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Avengers.
Right.
But at the end of the movie, they're like, oh, the humans, they're like fucking crazy. And then Thanos turns around, and you're like, oh shit, Thanos.
Thanos, yeah.
So then, you know what I mean? I'm a comic book guy. I've been reading comic books since I was like little.
Right.
So I was like, oh shit, Thanos. And this kid turns around and goes, hey, who's Thanos?
Oh.
I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Dude? You took 2 hours in this line to take somebody's seat who actually likes this shit. And you're asking me who are the fucking characters? You get it. So then I started telling people, see these movies, you have to take a test first. Okay?
Just like voting. Just like voting.
I want to see your Marvel registration. All right?
Are you here legally?
Get Captain Mexico out of here, dude.
Captain Mexico.
Yeah, dude, that kid was like, who's Thanos? I was like, dude, are you fucking serious? You don't know who these characters are? Then why are you watching this movie?
Captain Mexico.
Oh my God! I threatened kids at the Black Panther movie. Says Ronnie Martinez.
Oh,
Disney.
You're not black enough.
Do you think they're actually trying to put that, like, include like different races and stuff into the movies? Of course,
It's
right?
Disney, dude. Like, just the same thing that they're doing with Star Wars, they're doing it with everything.
well, not with Black Panther. Black
Panther was always
Okay,
But
okay.
that was Wakanda.
But here's the thing that I don't like what they did with Black Panther. They made it so precious that guy, he died, and so now we got to move on and make it a girl Black Panther. It's like, no, dude, just recast him, dude. I liked that guy too. I thought he was a really good Black Panther. It sucks that he died, dude. I thought he could have made a bunch of cool movies, but I want to see another, like, that second Black Panther where the girl takes over. Have you seen that one?
No, not yet. But that's part of like the storyline.
Yeah,
years and years
and years of Black Panther doing a bunch of cool shit.
Yeah.
But they were like, well, he died, so now we got to go to the boring chick now.
Damn.
Yeah,
So crazy.
that's the way I see it. And they also had in that new Black Panther, the bad guy was Namor, which he's like one of they call him like the original mutant.
Oh yeah, Namor.
And he's cool as shit, especially in that movie because they made him Mexican.
Oh shit!
They made him a Mexican dude.
Wow.
Like in the comic books, he's more like Greek because he's supposed to be from Atlantis.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But in this one, they made him like, oh, my name is Namor. You know what I mean? They really made him Mexican.
Yeah, he's a full on Aztec warrior, dude.
Wow,
In
for
the, in the water.
And he's dope in that movie, but then he fights that girl, and it's just like
Like what
that little girl's gonna beat you up just because she drank the heart-shaped herb or whatever. Whatever, dude.
So the actual comic books are they different from the movies that are coming out? Like the
Yes and no. I mean, they pick and choose like little things, like the new. I mean, I don't know if this is like a spoiler or not, but that new Captain America that's coming out.
With Red Hulk?
They're gonna make the Red Hulk, and you know who the Red Hulk is, right?
No, dude, I don't know comic books.
The Red Hulk is the old man that's been like, "I'll get you, Hulk."
Oh,
He turns himself into the Red Hulk.
no way.
And so that guy died. William Hurt, he died. So now it's gonna be Harrison Ford.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
So Harrison Ford's gonna be the Red Hulk. Dude. It's gonna
When
be
you think about Harrison Ford, Anthony being the whole red Hulk.
Oh, that guy's
He's
little,
like, give me my Red Hulk serum, Chewie.
Chewie.
yeah, he'll start like fucking up his lines in different movies he's done. Get off my plane.
So you were saying there's some astronauts stranded in the.
Oh yeah, dude. Have you heard about that?
Uh-uh.
That they're literally right now. There are astronauts stranded in space, and I doubt anybody has heard about this. Have you heard about it? Anybody?
Not until you said.
See,
Yeah.
so this is the way I heard it. I could be wrong, but the way that I heard it is NASA wanted to do like this mission on the space station for 8 days. They had a thing that they had to do over there, but they needed help building some of these rockets because they don't have like the money and stuff anymore because they got their funding cut. So they go to Boeing, the airplane place, and they're like, "Hey, help us build these rockets so that we can do this mission." And Boeing's like, "Oh yeah, we can do that. It's gonna take a little while, but if you want it to go faster, we got these parts back here."
Oh my God.
They've been there for a while, but I mean, they still work. and that's just like, yeah, it's cheaper. Fucking do it. And so they built the rocket and they flew them off to space. And so now when it's time to bring them back, they're like, "All right, we're ready to launch to bring them in." Oh, coupler 5 is we gotta scrub the launch. And they were only supposed to be there for 8 days. They've been up there for a month and a half now. Just because every time that they're gonna launch, they're like, "Oh shit, the washer went out. I guess fuck, we gotta scrap the whole thing." And it's just because they used all these like leftover parts. It's like the same thing with like. Do you remember when the 18-wheelers were like breaking down on the side of the road all the time? They're
Yeah,
like,
no way.
"You got to do maintenance on these things."
Yeah.
It's not a new rocket ship. They made it with old parts, and so those people are. Yeah, dude, I saw it on TikTok. That's where I saw it, Karina.
Right on.
I saw it on TikTok, and they're just up there floating around, going like, "That's just gonna bring us home someday." It's like, dude.
Yeah, Ronnie Martinez, all women supporting right now in the YouTube chat.
Hell yeah.
Awesome, man. That's cool.
Yeah, dude. So I mean, and that's all overshadowed by Trump getting shot. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
come on, bro.
Dude.
Oh, that and Richard Simmons passed away. or
Oh,
something like
Richard
that?
Simmons passed away. So did Shelley Duvall.
Oh, yeah.
And Shannon Doherty also.
Oh, so that's the
That's
three.
what I was thinking about.
Because I thought Trump was gonna be the third, but he's like matrixed out of the way. He's like, not today. Now he's gonna get Final Destination, dude.
Final
It's gonna
Destination,
follow
bro.
him.
Shit.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So y'all think he's gonna be the next president of the United States? Did this help him? Did this help him like get more voters? And like, why do you think so?
Okay, so here's my question: How do you make one of the most controversial and one of the most heated men anywhere, probably in the world? How do you make him frontline?
You take a badass
What do you
picture
mean
with
frontline,
blood
like-
on his
Frontline
face.
on everybody's tongue. You make him a hero.
Mm.
So what happened? He turned himself. Somebody turned himself into a hero, and he's now the top person everybody's talking about right now.
You know what I don't like?
Do you think they like staged like shooting him shooting at him but like missing on purpose?
Well, you see, and that's the thing that more information honestly still has to go out. But that's what like tickles my conspiracy mind is like all of this, everything just doesn't make sense. And I read this book called The Fourth Turning, and The Fourth Turning is an amazing book, and it pretty much describes that there are 4 chapters in an 80-year period, and that's separated by 20 years. And each one is a valley or a high note or a low note in American history. Mm-hmm. And we can follow this back up until the Revolutionary War. So since then, every 80 years and 20 years in between that, there's been a high. And ours started after World War II. And it was a high note. The economy was up. People were getting their fair share, but not for everybody. So there's still low parts for a lot of people. And then that ended when JFK was assassinated in 1967. That started another period, and that was like the
valley.
Yeah, there was like the other part of it, and then it went further south when Ronald Reagan was elected for his second term. That's when the economy started taking a nosedive. We had AIDS epidemic. We had drugs, war. Economy went to shit. And then the last one is we are in the last turning, the last 20 years. And it started in, I think, 2008 when the war began. And it's ending around this area for the next 20 years. And what's interesting about this book is it talks about like major life events and what other great large event could have happened. But 2 days ago, when the former president of the United States, Trump, was either A, attempted assassination, or B, staged assassination.
No.
It's an interesting book to read.
So then we're headed towards a peak now?
No, we're heading towards what's called the crisis mode. Well, not mode, but crisis phase of the end. So something catastrophic always happens. What happened the last 80 years was World War II. It happened 80 years prior to that was the Civil War.
World War III.
And then, well, I don't want to say World War III. It's more like a large crisis, because I don't think today's society would go into a large confrontation just to prove a point. I don't think so. But what I do think is that if you follow historical timelines and you look at this and you say, holy shit, this is following some type of pattern.
Yeah.
And you look at this very, very, very important election that's coming up this year. It all just kind of just makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. You can follow this back every 80 years. It's an incredible book.
So according to that book, this guy gets elected. What do you think may happen afterward?
A severe crisis. So whether that's
economy or
whether that's an economic downfall, whether that's another American Civil War, hoping we don't go that far. God,
Kaijus.
Kaijus.
Kaijus. Do you ever see Pacific Rim?
Whether or not Godzilla pops his head out of the
Jews.
ocean and starts getting himself. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe the aliens will finally say hi, dude. I don't fucking know. But like,
Hi.
But what sucks is like you can follow this trend, but then after that we know that it has to rise up again. So after this, there's going to be a peak. There's going to be an uprising in our society. But man, I'm telling you, dude. Like you said before, all this shit it's just.
And who wrote that book?
I forgot who wrote it. I had notes prepared. I forgot my notes because I know we're probably going to talk about this.
Yeah, Karina Gomez's history repeats itself. Yeah, I think about like the different empires, how they rise to prominence, and then eventually there's another empire that comes in.
Sure, like even like if you go back to Roman Empire when they took over way too much land they're supposed to, and just kind of just crumbled on. But the book is called The Fourth Turning. And
The Fourth Turning.
The Fourth Turning.
It's an interesting book. There's a YouTube video on it. It is phenomenal. It's really interesting.
That's crazy, man.
Hell yeah.
One of the things I want to say this. I want to read this out loud. This is from the book of Revelations. And I was thinking of it when it happened to Trump. And I thought of this specific scripture. It's Revelation chapter 13. Now hear this out right here. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw the beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth is the mouth of a lion. Now that's a lot of imagery from the book of Daniel. Each one of those beasts was signifying like the Greek Empire, the Roman Empire, stuff like that. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority, and saw on one of his heads as if it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
Really?
Yeah, were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshipped the dragon,
What the-
which gave power unto the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. About 6 months short of a
You think
a
that's
term.
you think that's happening now?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Are you trying to say Trump's a beast?
It could happen. I don't
Beast
know.
mode?
I
Beast mode?
just when it happened, I was like, that reminded me of that.
Seriously, when I heard about Trump, I was scrolling through TikTok, and some other lady, she's like, "This reminds me of this thing from Revelation." She read that exact same scripture.
Bro.
Yeah.
Damn. I don't know. Yeah, it could happen. I mean, I don't know. I read the Bible and stuff. I mean, I don't know if it's happening today. I mean, it could happen over a span of time, like this one. We don't know because that book was written, I think, like spiritually by God or whatever. You know.
I think all the
So-
revelations in the Bible, they're retrospective. Like you see it, and then as it's happening, like even when Jesus was here, like there was all this stuff written about him before he came, and the Jews that were reading the scriptures could not see it, could not see him.
Well, it's like they couldn't like. Isn't there one thing like that? And there was a bird in the sky, and people think that's helicopters, dude.
Right. Yeah.
Like they just can't comprehend like what a helicopter is.
Yeah.
Because they were giant dum dums back then. You know what I mean? Like they don't know what that is.
Right. Man,
Yeah.
Do you read the Bible at all, Anthony?
I'm a recovering Catholic.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a third degree Knight of Columbus. I was in Catholicism for a very long time until I started to ask a lot of questions, and then like kind of not fell away from God. I just fell away from the church. I had huge issues with like the church itself.
Like what are those priests doing with those kids over there?
Wow, for real.
But
Damn.
like
My spotlight, bro.
like my relationship with God is like it's a personal one-on-one. And I always go back to the line with the scripture that says that to go to your room, close the door, and have a conversation. I don't need to go to someone who's fallible. I don't need to go to somebody who has
I need to go to Bill.
yeah, because I had a lot of issues with like how they were spending money, how they were talking to other parishioners, how they were doing a lot of things. And this is not this church. This was a while back. So to answer your question in a roundabout way, yeah, like I am very, 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 very familiar with the Bible, and whatever version you put at me, like New King
James.
Yeah, the King James version, the international one or whatever. During my time to be a third degree Knight of Columbus, like one of the things we had to do is understand like the translations are translations of translations, and like the book that we use in Catholic Church was revised by some dude,
By kings
by a king,
and- yeah.
who didn't want certain things like to interfere with his way of life.
Oh, wow.
Whether that be with money, women, or whatever. So, like understanding that you take the meat, the bolts of what the book says, and I personally keep that, but everything else besides that, I toss it aside.
Have you read the Trump Bible yet?
It says, and they will wear the mark of the beast, which are the Trump.
Oh, dude.
You want to say something real controversial?
Mind blown.
real controversial, man. I had a huge falling out with one of my friends. He was one of my Marines, and he was posting a picture of like Trump in a golden statue holding the Bible, and he's a hardcore Christian too. And I was like, "What are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing?" Like, Trump is like, I'm idolizing him. You know, you're not supposed to do that, right? You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
That's like number one rule.
It says it right here in the rules of the Bible.
And he was like,
Don't do that.
blah blah blah. So I cut him off, man. I was like, no, I'm not gonna deal with this.
Oh, crazy, bro.
Dude, we used to go to church together.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember when I got out of that, it was because I was sitting with my church friends, right? All his church friends, and I mean, I don't know if you've noticed since the whole time I joke around, dude. I make a lot of jokes. And I was joking around and everybody was laughing, but we had a new guy with us who's like, oh, wow, I just found Jesus and this and that.
Yeah.
And so then I'm joking around and then he goes, I don't think Jesus would like us making these jokes like this. And everybody at the table goes, he's right, bro. I was like, well, it's like, y'all turned on me a lot longer, dude. And you guys just turned on me from this new guy? Jesus ain't real.
It's hilarious, man. I had this conversation. With like one of the he was hardcore fourth degree knight, and he was like all somber talking about Christ and Jesus, and I was like, you don't think Jesus make crack jokes? You don't think he laughed? And I'm like, come on, man, lighten up.
Like, dude, everybody was loving my bits. Until this guy comes around, he's like, well, I'm
That one dude in the comedy club that makes
I
it
was
like
like, oh, well, sorry, Jesus' cousin over here who thinks he knows what Jesus likes. I've been in this church for 20 years.
Dude, have you seen the movie Dogma?
Yeah. I used to have one of those buddy crates.
Dude,
Oh, no kidding.
my old father, dude, my old priest brought a picture of Buddy Christ in church, and all the old Catholics almost like flipped their shit.
So crazy.
And he was telling people like, why is this so offensive? You think he smiled? it's just like,
Yeah, he did a finger game.
but I thought it was so funny that they used the most like thought-provoking Dogma movie by Kevin Smith and brought it into like a new way of thinking about the Catholic Church. And I was like, dude, this guy's awesome.
The thing I like about Jesus, man, is like he would be around the prostitute, the sinners. You know what I mean? Like he would hang out, talk with them, go have dinner. Chill out with them, hang out with them. You know what I mean? Not so much doing what they do, but just like be around them. And that scripture's like I came for the sick, not for the ones that are already healed. You know what I mean? And that's what I like, because the priests are like, I think the priests are like, how come you're not hanging with us? You know what I mean? We're the high ones or whatever. And he's like, no, I'm over here for these people, not for you.
I think it goes, amen. I say to you, talking to the people on the soapbox who's like preaching. He's preaching to nobody. He's trying to get attention, a narcissist. But he's saying like, amen. I say to you, you're a part of my people. But chill out, dude. I'm gonna go over here where the cool people are and spread the word. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like it's really weird to talk about Jesus and because like had a real falling out with like everything about that.
Really?
Like,
Wow.
oh yeah, like real falling out. And like I know for me, I still believe, but like it's one of those things to where it's when you start asking the real hard questions, and when the real hard questions are really hard to answer, and then when you start to think about, well, why is A going to B, but like what's going on, and you can't go heads or tails about the answer, that's when I was like, all right, it's time to do some real like soul searching and what all that has to encompass. Like
That's crazy.
God,
Yeah, I got away from the church that we went to. I tried different churches out and stuff like that. I was Catholic before, like I started doing like non-denominational and stuff like that.
Right.
But just going, Andy and I went to that type of church, and then I just found out there's like these places are not for me, bro. Like I tried.
They have a hierarchy, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
if you're not like, oh well, if you don't hang out with the people who like are running things, then you're not really a part of it. You know, it's just like, well, who are these people?
Yeah,
dude?
exactly.
Like, you're telling me that if I don't hang out with Bill, dude,
And it's like, how different is this from what outside the world, what the Bible calls it? How different is it from that? It's like that in here. And then of course there's the argument like, oh well, not everybody's well and healed or whatever, and this is just the church, whatever.
You see, my thing, it was like, you can't have logic and faith like occupy the same space. You can't have that together, because you start asking questions that have no answers to. So you either have to take less than one and more than the other, or vice versa. And it seems like all people who I was associated with we're more concerned about like not having the basic logic of being just a good person and being that like look at me, look how much money I make, and not even like, and when you ask about the tithe, they're like, what's a tithe? Like, okay, then you're not understanding what you're talking about. And then going into the realization that like we're all here just for a short amount of time, man. Very fucking short.
Yeah.
You know, and when you're dealing with all these issues, and then when you're trying to find the answer to the one true question, like, is there a God? Like, all you can do is say, ask yourself, like what do you think? And that's it. Because all these Joel Osteen motherfuckers, and fuck this, I cannot stand seeing pictures of his fucking house
Crazy.
and talking about like how he's.
They got that I think it's Center Point over there in Houston. They still, a lot of them don't have power from the hurricane or whatever. So
Did you let him in this time?
well, no, I was actually going to
mention.
mention that same guy from last time, Mattress Max.
Oh yeah,
He opened up his facility for people
yeah.
to go in there. He's like, people are coming in here because they need, power for their heart, whatever thing is, so they won't die. His mother's coming in and got to feed their family. But I'm just like, dude, this is what Joel Osteen should be doing, for people that are out.
Joel Osteen was like, well, we just recarpeted. And all these bums are gonna.
And I used to be
ruin
like, oh yeah, Joel Osteen, and then my eyes are just kind of like not blinded anymore, and I was like, nah, you know what I mean?
I love that. It says, "Old God's not the news." So hell Cthulhu, hell Cthulhu.
Okay, nice.
Here's what I think it is. I think if there is a God, He put us here for a reason. And it wasn't to be like, oh, we gotta make everybody believe in what it's. Dude, there's too much shit going on for you to focus on all that. You know what I mean? You got, you know what I think? Because you don't have to say God is love. I think that's the main thing that we should be focusing on. Fucking loving each other. Loving, just making this place better.
Better, yeah.
You know what I mean? But. Whatever, dude. I feel soft.
Thanks a lot, Ronnie and Kaylee being in the chat. Appreciate you guys for being in there and chiming in. Too much Catholic school for me, says Ronnie.
Yeah, dude.
Watch Red State, she said.
Red State. That's a good movie.
Is it?
Man.
Oh, okay.
That's another Kevin Smith movie.
Oh, no kidding.
And he's it's like this crazy preacher. They like captures these kids. He's like, we're gonna sacrifice them for God because the revelation is coming.
Oh,
and so then like the FBI is out there like, let go of the kids. And so then the FBI, because they're like the Jamestown kind of weird church people.
Oh yeah, okay.
So and they're like gonna sacrifice these kids, and it's like, well, the revelation is coming, and then I don't want to. Should I give away the end of the movie?
It's up to you, bro.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert, guys.
Spoiler alert.
Fast forward.
Spoiler alert. The revelation fucking comes, dude, and all that stuff he was saying was true, dude.
Oh, no kidding, bro.
Yeah, they hear the horn of Gabriel or whatever,
yeah.
and all the FBI agents' heads blow up and shit. And
Touching base on that, like them being right in the end, like I always tell somebody, like when they don't believe in God, Jesus is the only one who came and said, I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father, God, except through me. Buddha didn't say that. Muhammad didn't say that. Nobody else said that except the OG, Jesus.
So how was that Jesus Father God different from the other types of gods? Like
So there's go ahead.
There's all these people that came in there and said, I'm this and this and this and this, right? But Jesus is the only one who said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to God except through me. Muhammad even says in the Quran, or whoever you want to believe wrote the Quran, I believe it was a demon. He said that even the people of the book will be saved. So the people of the book are the people like the Torah and the Christians, so the Jews and the Christians will even be saved. Jesus said, I am the way, I am the truth, and life.
so you know a lot about this.
I know a lot.
Okay.
But we have 5 minutes.
we could keep going.
Okay.
I just want to know, how come, what makes the Jews so chosen, dude?
It just happened that way. It just happened. It was happenstance,
That they got chosen?
Yes.
I mean, because I'm Mexican, dude. We weren't even around back then.
Well, yeah, if you go back to like it was Adam and Eve, and then the whole earth was cleaned, the Diluvian era, or when the earth flooded,
Yeah.
and then it was Noah, and then Noah had his sons, and they had Ham, Japheth, and they all went out and made all the people of the world.
Okay.
So it just was, there was still people following God. And even if you go into like the time when Jesus was there was a lot of people that weren't even from Israel that were following God. There was people from Ethiopia and stuff. They were following God to the best of their ability. So yeah.
So the Jews are from Judah, or they're from like one of the 12 sons, right? Or something like
they're
that?
from all the sons.
It's
The,
from all
the
of them?
sons
From
of
Abraham.
They're the sons
Abraham,
of Israel.
right? There's
Yeah,
like 12
Abraham,
sons or
Israel.
something
Yeah.
like You gonna say something, Anthony?
Oh no, no. Like I was gonna ask a question because that's actually really pretty interesting. Like you said that you believe that the Quran was written by a demon.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was written in the book of Titus, I believe. He said, if any angel or any of us come to you with a different gospel than the gospel we have preached, let them be accursed. Because it was already written before that there was going to be angels that were going to come and tell you a false gospel. So those were the demons, of course. And that's the same thing that happened to the Mormons, because they believe the angel Gabriel came down. I think it was both times it was an angel Gabriel, but it was an angel that did the revelation of another book. And the two books that came out after the New Testament are the Quran, and the next book was the Mormon Bible, or the Book of Mormon.
Yeah, but the Book of Mormon, that guy said, I need the stones to see it.
Yeah.
And then everyone's all like, come on, man.
Yeah.
All scripture is of no private interpretation. That's also in the book of Timothy. So there's no secret out there.
Damn, so you know
You,
all
you
of
don't
them.
you don't think that it was written by a demon?
No, of course not. Because I'm in the ballpark where that God, there's one, if there is one being, he was showing himself in different areas of life and as the person as one of them. So like there's all funnels through one person, but interpreted in different ways. That's why we have different interpretations of a whole lot of one major religion. So like it falls under, I think it's not utilitarianism or universalism.
Unitarian or universalism. Yeah, where everybody's saved.
Yeah, so I think it goes into that stem where like the word was presented to people of Muhammad as one way, and the word was presented to Buddha this way, and the word was presented to Christians this way, and
they're supposed to come together and meet, like,
That would work if Jesus didn't say, "I'm the way and the truth and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me." And he said that.
So you're saying those different religions lead to the same God?
there is a hefty theory that yeah, like it was. And we're going into theology now, and we're going into world religion views and religions that precede Christianity, and there is a lot of similarities between like what the Quran and what Muhammad, what Buddha, and everything was saying. It was just interpreted differently.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So so would you say like different parts of the world have their own interpretation? Like, cause like Christian Judaism is like in the Israel part of the earth, and like say like in China they have their own.
they have Taoism.
Like Taoism, and then like Buddhists have the eightfold path, and you treat everybody with like respect and dignity, and harm no creature and what have you. And Christianity teaches love and love thy neighbor and things like that. It's just interpreted different ways. But the interesting thing about that is what you're saying is there's a lot of people who also believe that it was interpreted and then it was scrambled up in translation from. So like,
Are you talking about like the New Testament originally in Greek and it changed?
no,
Or
I'm talking about like it being in Aramaic. And then being not Aramaic. No, actually, was it Aramaic? I believe it was.
No, so the Old Testament was written in Hebrew, except for a section of Daniel was written in Aramaic. The New Testament was written in Koine Greek. So like the Catholics, it was originally translated in Latin Vulgate. And then if you have the Douay-Rheims Bible, that's the old school Catholic Bible, they translated from, it was Koine Greek to the Latin Vulgate, which was by Jerome, I believe. And then they translated it into English from the Latin. So it went from one language to another language to it, instead of going to the original tongues.
Right.
Hey, you're a pastor or what?
No.
South Park said the Mormons were the chosen ones. It says Ronnie Martinez.
Have you ever seen that one?
Hey, Charles Legaki, man, appreciate you. Legaki,
Yes.
he says wildest episode on the podcast I've seen in a while.
That's so funny.
That's
The
what-
one,
that's
the
what
one
we're
in
shooting
South
for.
Park when they die and they were like, so wait,
It
I
was
was
the
a
Mormons.
pastor, and he's like, well, you were the pastor of a Christian church. No, well, who got it right? I'm sorry, the right answer was the Mormons.
Right?
Dude, those dudes are they're everywhere, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, man, like
They- and what I like is they didn't back off. It's like, remember when Chef, when Isaac Hayes, he's like, dude, don't talk about Scientology. He's like, you know what? We're gonna turn you into Darth Vader, dude.
wow, yeah, that's so crazy. And yeah, I have never heard your perspective like that. I mean, I probably have, but just be with somebody like in the flesh talking about it. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the core curriculum from going to Notre Dame was
Oh, no kidding.
to have a world religion.
You went to Notre Dame?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, hell yeah! You graduated from there?
I graduated in 2011.
Cool.
From there.
Did you
And
see a game ever?
No. I
Man,
did.
that would have been sweet.
That would have been sweet.
I did their online program after I got out of the Marine Corps.
Oh,
and then,
right on.
And then I got my bachelor's here at A&M Corpus Christi.
Congrats, man. Go Islanders. Hell yeah.
Yeah, go Durs.
Yeah, that's
Nah,
what's
but
up,
it's actually it's pretty fascinating because I would like to like explore that more about how you're thinking that the Quran is written by a demon. That's very fascinating.
I believe it because it was written. It was written before it happened. Just
Oh,
like
no.
Jesus. And like you were saying, like the confirmation of all these different religions. The thing is that when Jesus came, how he confirmed himself was the Word. And
True.
The word, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us.
Right.
That word in the Bible is the word logos, which is logic, like you were talking about earlier. So when Jesus came and he said, he didn't say, I'm God. He just proved it over and over again from what was written before and what was happening. He didn't say I am. He fulfilled prophecy. And that's how he proved who he was. And that's how any book that you read out there and anything you see in this world, you're proven by the past into the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
This is just one thing that I heard. This is the kind of antithesis to that. Is because those books, they were written by people who were like hearsay.
Mm-hmm.
So that this is just something I heard. But is that some of the things that they wrote as, well, he fulfilled this scripture, but because it had already happened, so they write it in like, oh, well, he fulfilled the prophecy because
Let me read you something. Is it all right to read
Yeah,
you
go
something? Okay. So remember when Jesus was on the cross and he said, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And they told him, shut up, be quiet. They didn't want him to say it, right? I'm going to read this to you, okay?
They told him to not to say it.
Yeah, they told him to be quiet. They said he's quoting the prophet.
The two thieves. The two
Oh.
thieves that were
No,
that were
didn't
next-
one of them tell him to shut up, and then the other ones were like,
Yeah,
"Hey, if there's a place, can you like?
Oh,
I don't
okay,
know.
okay.
I'll
Oh,
stay
so-
outside if you want me to."
Oh, okay, crazy.
And then
Okay.
the other one was pleading. I think the other one was pleading for him to say it
So-
as well.
A lot of people say he was saying, my God. So he was saying he wasn't God. But what he was doing was he was quoting scripture. And the scripture he was quoting was Psalm 22 that was written about 1,200 years before he was on earth. So I'm going to read it to you. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from me, helping me? And and from the words of my roaring. Oh my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest me not. And then the night season, and am not silent. Sorry, this is King James. I could go whatever version you want. But thou art holy, and thou that inhabitest the praises of Israel. Our fathers trusted in thee. They trusted, and thou didst deliver them. They cried unto thee, and were delivered. They trusted in thee, and were not confounded. But I am a worm, and no man, a reproach of men, and despised of the people. All that see me laugh me to scorn. They laughed at him when he was on the cross. They shoot out the lip, they shake their heads, saying, he trusted on the Lord, that he would deliver him. Let him deliver him, seeing he delighted in him. They said that to him also. They were fulfilling the scripture as they stopped him from saying it. But thou art he that took me out of the womb. Thou didst make me hope when I was upon my mother's breast. I was cast upon thee from the womb. Thou art my God from my mother's belly. Be not far from me, for trouble is near, for there is none to help. Many bulls have encompassed me. Strong bulls of Bashan, which could go into the area of Rome, have beset me around. They gaped upon me with their mouths as a ravening and a roaring lion. I am poured out like water poured out of him. And all the bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax. It is melted in the midst of my bowels.
So he said this when he was on the cross.
He said the
he
beginning
was
of
about
it.
to, and then they
So-
told him to stop.
Oh, but that's the scripture that he was quoting.
Yes. He keeps going. My strength is dried up like a port shed, and my tongue cleaveth to my jaws. He was thirsty. And thou hast brought me into the dust of death, for dogs have encompassed me. The assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and feet.
And then that was in the Old Testament.
Yes. I may tell all my bones. They look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them. They cast lots for garments as they were standing there, the Roman soldiers.
This was written before Jesus was trying to quote it.
Yeah, about 1,200 years prior.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: Do you believe in hell?
Yes.
Do you believe that there is the devil?
Yes.
Do you believe that there are demons?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you're saying that on with conviction that just one out of the world religions is written by a demon, or that most of them are written by demons?
I would say almost all of them, if not everyone.
The
If not every one, people that are influenced by them are writing them.
Okay, it's interesting. It's very fascinating.
But how do you know yours is the right one?
Because it was proven.
By its own book, though.
Yeah, it's proved onto itself. And not just that. If you read the Old Testament and it writes about different places in there, there's been multiple times where they've dug and they found cities that were talked about in that book. Not just the book confirming it, but the earth, the geological stuff.
Well, but I've also heard they don't like the flood, the Noah's flood and all that, or is it Noah or Moses or one of those guys that had the flood, the guy who had the ark.
Yeah, they found the remnants of the boat on top.
But I heard that that was all fake.
You know what the devil does? He mixed a lot of truth with a lot of lies. Yeah.
Have you ever taken mushrooms?
No, I haven't.
You ever taken shrooms?
Okay, because I took mushrooms one time,
Uh,
and this is just the way that I thought of it. It's just my thought. I'm a giant idiot, so don't take
No,
my word.
I won't. I like to hear.
But the way that I saw it was everybody is because you can't destroy energy. Energy is always going to be there, and everybody has that energy inside them, right? So when you die, your energy gets dispersed, and it's like a giant cloud of like consciousness, I guess is how you'd say it.
Okay.
And it's a spectrum. There's like the people who were, if you lived your life. If you lived your life as like a evil, like, you know what I mean? You were just like kind of a shitty person. You get stuck on that end of the spectrum. There's like a bad, angry, dark side of the spectrum. And then there's the light and then everything in between. And so then once it's kind of like a cloud. And so then once your energy gets returned to the cloud, like it evaporates like water, and you get returned to the cloud, you are not actually you anymore. It's just your parts into the cloud from which you came. You know what I mean?
You came from,
everybody came from this cloud. When I was on mushrooms, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, okay, did you see it or you're thinking it?
And so it's like condensation. And so like when it gets too heavy, the condensation, the consciousness drops down, and that's when you get like the consciousness of a person. Now, what you do with that consciousness while we're here, that's what you do. But then where you end up in the consciousness cloud afterward is how you lived your life here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was on
I like the white pony tattoo you got on there.
Yeah, I got another Deftones on.
Hell
right
yeah,
here.
bro. Yeah.
I was going to tell you that the Old Testament, when Jesus was around, this is called the Septuagint. So a lot of them would be quoting from the Septuagint. So it was already confirmed Bible, right? It was translated from Hebrew, Aramaic, into English. And the Greek that was written in the Septuagint, the word for witchcraft is the word pharmakia, which is a root word for the word pharmacy, which is drugs. So if you want witchcraft drugs, it's connected.
Crazy, bro.
Dude,
So be careful,
dude.
I don't know.
Well, think of it. You put it's like you cook meth. It's like
good to me right now.
it's
It's chemicals.
yeah, but you're cooking meth. You cook meth, and it's like a witch with a pot, and she mixes things together, and she makes this thing. Think about it. It's witchcraft.
They're coming out of the bushes, man. Reminds me of that scene from what is it? They're coming out of the bushes, John Stewart.
But think,
Yeah.
Hey,
Thanks.
Red team go, red team go.
Red team, go.
think about the ingredients that the witches always have. What is it? Frogs sometimes?
Eye of Newt.
Frogs?
Frogs? Sometimes they throw frogs in there.
Yeah.
You lick a frog, you get high. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not sure, but I'm saying it's pretty connected, I think.
Crazy, bro.
I mean,
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
like I said, dude, I'm a giant dum dum. Like I will be the first one to tell you I am not. You can persuade me of almost anything because I am not smart. But that's just kind of what I believe. You know what I mean? It's just,
I don't know.
because it's like the founding fathers. They had the clockwork god that they had. It's like God is there, but he's like a clockmaker. He made the earth, he put everything on it, and then he's just go.
Dang.
And so he's not intervening in any other way. That's just what the founding fathers, like Benjamin Franklin
Man,
and all them shit.
Yeah, it reminds me of the Tolkien Lord of the Rings, how they have their own world and they have Eru Iluvatar, which is I think their god for that earth, and how it's pretty cool. That makes me think about that god and how he came up with it, and how the elves came to be on that, you know what I mean? And, and the dwarves and the Ents and all this other stuff. It's pretty cool. I like that stuff.
No, it's funny going back to what you're saying about drugs. Like, did you know that there is a drug reference in the Vatican?
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah. So like there's this part.
So the popes, they were just like,
There's a part of the I forgot what it's called. There's a part of the brain. It's about the shape of a pineapple, and like it's the same chemical reaction as when you take like ayahuasca or something like that. And it's supposed to be like one of those things where you take to speak to God one on one. Only lasts for a couple of seconds, but apparently that reference is in the Vatican.
adrenochrome.
So like that helps to speak to God. Like, I mean,
Yeah, spiritualism type thing.
Oh, crazy.
And it's just fascinating to think about that. And I guess and they'll tell you like when you take a tour, like that's what it's referencing
That's
to.
so crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Have you what's that drug that's supposed to be like? It releases the chemical in your brain that only gets released when you're born and when you die.
Yeah, I think it's ayahuasca.
No. It's called something else. You smoke it. It's,
DMT.
Oh, DMT.
DMT.
Naturally.
DMT.
Yeah,
That shit. I've never done that. That shit sounds scary, dude. I'd be scared because I heard people like they live a whole nother life.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, I had a family, and then I worked at my
whole nother life.
Yeah, a whole nother life, dude.
Crazy.
I got married, I got kids, and then they watched me die, and then you wake up and you're like, oh shit, dude, that was like 3 minutes, dude. And I just lived a whole other life. That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, like what is it, Inception? You seen that movie?
Yeah,
Dude,
like the
it's
time
so crazy.
time
Time
differences.
differences. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or they like go to like I've heard other people that done it. They said they go to this like other realm where they're like, we'll tell you the meaning of everything, and they're like, okay, and then they start like booping you on the nose. they don't. But then I heard this one guy say that he did DMT and he started dancing with a lady in red, and then a month later, a friend of his that he hadn't talked to since like high school did DMT on the other side of the world. Called him the next day and said, "Hey, I met that lady. She was talking about you the whole time."
Demons
Yeah, okay.
Do
connected.
people ever tell you like say maybe like insult you because of what you believe?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like how do you find yourself? Because like this is cool. Like we can actually have a conversation.
Oh
about it
yeah. Like,
without somebody getting upset.
no, of course
you know
not.
what I mean?
And
That's
I
cool.
wasn't trying to attack him because I find that extremely fascinating.
No,
I
I didn't feel it at all.
Well, I've been on this earth for 42 years, and half of that has spent like deep diving into religions and how everything is kind of intertwined in some fashion. And actually, Kaylee makes a really good reference about the field of medicine and how we came up with a lot of medicines today that saves lives versus just a like an old school way of of herbs and things that have been going on for centuries. And I just find it incredibly fascinating that, like, speaking with straight conviction on directly saying that other sources of religion were written by demons. That's fascinating.
Or people influenced by them.
Right, or people influenced by them.
But are all the demons are bad? All of them?
Everyone.
Okay.
Definitely. It's just their name.
So
They're all angels.
So okay, so the opposite. So a demon is a bad angel,
Yes.
and is it so there are good angels? Like how,
Of course.
okay, so
Michael, right here.
Yeah, no, yeah, I got you. So like how do those good angels influence the world that we live in today? Like or the world, or you know what I mean?
Well, we could just
Because
go.
like if a demon can influence a religion or whatever, can an angel influence a religion? You know what I mean?
An angel starting another religion, because the gospel was given once to all the saints for all time. It says that in the Bible. It's finished. It's already delivered, and it says that right before that scripture. It talks about if anybody else
Right.
comes and brings a different gospel. So those new angels,
So they wouldn't try to do something like that.
then they would automatically become a demon.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So, okay. So, if let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
So, how do you? Okay. So let me rephrase.
Just like-
let me rephrase that question with this question. Do you believe that God is all knowing and all powerful?
Always.
Okay. How do you answer the question, why is there suffering in the world? And why do children have to suffer in the world?
Because God gave us choice.
Okay. So you're saying that the choice of others influences the either death or destruction or harm to a child who can't make that choice for themselves?
Yes.
Okay. So how do you answer the question, why doesn't God
Intervene.
stop them?
Because it would take away their choice.
Their free will.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
Then we wouldn't have free will anymore. The thing that, when they say they ate from the apple, they ate from the apple, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So they know what they're doing is wrong, or somebody around them knows what they're doing is wrong.
Okay.
We know what's wrong and what's right because we were created in the image of God. That's how we have conscience.
So do you also answer the question of justifiable being angry at God for said making them have a choice?
The prophets were even angry at God.
Well, God is one of the first ones to have destruction. God has always been the pissed off individual who says, I will destroy you if you don't do this.
Man destroyed first.
Interesting.
Man destroyed first. God gave a rule. Man destroyed it. So man destroyed first. And then God had to destroy after.
Damn.
Damn, y'all fucked up, dude.
It's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, then we destroyed the relationship we had with God.
Can I give you another thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because sometimes I watch those guys. You ever see those guys from Austin who are like atheist dudes? They take calls and they're like, yeah, they're all smug. There's this one argument that they make. They say, okay, so you're married, right?
Yes.
And you love your wife.
Of course. No, I'm just kidding.
You better say that, bro.
She's awesome.
As he turns the camera to the camera.
Yes.
I love my wife.
She's awesome.
Say to the camera.
Can I sleep in here tonight, guys?
So would you ever like say your wife messed up bad or did something like, I don't know, murdered somebody, and it was up to you, not up to the government, but up to you, and you had to send them away to like hell or whatever forever. So if you loved her so much, why would you let that happen to her?
Well, I would just go back to the point that she's in a relationship with me, just like you need a relationship with Christ. And even if you sin, his sins will cover you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the love, the relationship she has with me and the relationship I have with her connects us. So I would die for her, just like he died for us.
But I think what they're trying to say is like, if he's all powerful and can keep you from this terrible forever fate, and he loves you so much, why doesn't he do that?
He did. But it's your choice, just like we talked about. It's your choice. He gives you a choice.
Interesting.
If he didn't, he'd take away your free will.
Yeah. Reminds me of that
Very interesting, man. I gotta say that's fascinating.
really.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it truly is. And this is coming from somebody who still believes in God.
Crazy.
Like, and the is just the when you're talking about like the holy grail question, like the holy grail question is like what you're talking about. Like why even do anything to begin with if everything's already A, pre-planned, B, like already said for, and people are going to do what they want to do because of choice, you know, and then who's going to protect me here? Like when you start to think about that and your answers you're giving, like I really, really understand like a lot of how people can get confused and be negative and just be angry all the time. Like, I don't know. It's interesting.
Fascinating.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, Anthony word fascinating. I love it.
And what do you do?
I'm a truck driver.
You're a truck driver? Like Walmart trucks?
Like trucks, crude oil.
Okay, cool.
Propane, butane, the gassy stuff.
Okay. Dang, and you like preach to people at the truck stops or what?
No. But I'm glad y'all talked about
Do you
it.
think that there's who's it? John MacArthur talks about how there's a set chosen amount of chosen. There's the chosen, right? Do you think that God chooses those whom He decides to save through Jesus Christ?
I think God, because he's all knowing, in our plane of thinking, he's already picked us. But in our plane of thinking, we can't even like
Fathom.
his thoughts.
So it's
Well, that's
his
why you
plan
do
of-
DMT.
Yeah.
DMT.
I talked to the lady that moved you on the nose.
Hey, we gotta get a sponsor from DMT, bro.
That's why I do a whole bunch of shrooms,
Dude,
man.
that's just too scary. Too scary.
So it's like
Jesus even said, "The Father draws you to me." He said that. And the crazy thing to think of another parallel is the way they fished back then. It wasn't with a hook.
Oh, crazy.
It was with a net.
The net.
So they drop the net, the fish swim into the net, then they're caught and brought into the boat. They're not pulled out of the water. They put themselves in the net.
How come they don't fish like that anymore? I mean, they do, don't they?
They do,
No, they-
like
yeah.
off the coast.
Wicked tuna and all that?
Yeah, that's how they do it. Yeah.
That's all I know about fishing, dude.
What denomination would you say you are?
Jesus,
The nation of
just
domination.
Christian.
So like if you went to church, what church do you go to?
I go to Calvary Chapel, the Coastlands.
Calvary Chapel, the Coastlands.
Yeah, it's on Rodfield.
All right. So that's just non-denominational. Is this a church? Just a church?
Just church,
Okay.
Jesus.
So okay. So do you have issues of how people interpret the Bible with like Catholicism and Presbyterian, Baptists, who are same Christians, but just like kind of like
But but they say we have to do it this
or like
way.
because like there are because speaking in tongues is one of the things
Like Baptists.
Yeah.
yeah, like do you are you on that line, or do you still feel like somebody who interprets the Bible not the way that you do is also influenced by demons?
No, I think they're influences by themselves. The main thing the way I think of it and the way I have thought of it in the past is I used to be like, it says this, we're doing this, you know.
So the word was the word.
The word was a word literally.
So like moving a mountain was moving a mountain. It wasn't metaphorical for
Yeah, you grow as a Christian and you learn that they're there, and then you read the book like as a child, and then you see like Jesus is there with the disciples. They're seeing him cast out demons and healing people like right in front of their eyes. And they're like, hey man, who's going to be first in the kingdom of heaven? Who's going to be the first among us? And they're fighting, right? And Jesus is like, cut it out, bro. It's the same thing we're doing down here.
Interesting. Wow.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
So here, do you believe in ghosts?
No,
You don't believe in ghosts.
no.
Do you believe in aliens?
I think aliens are demons.
What?
Just because they don't live on Earth?
I think they live in the ocean.
Oh, the whales.
It already talks about demons in the water.
Yeah,
Leviathan.
those
crazy,
those
bro.
fish that are deep down,
Okay,
they're crazy looking.
Now you're getting to my territory. especially. Okay, so you believe that aliens, which I also like, I'm on some fence line of whether or not aliens are like present in ocean floors, because we only know like 20% of what's out there. Like we don't know.
It's just my guess. I'm not sure, but I do not think there's another life forms.
Out in space?
No.
out of the hundreds and hundreds,
And it's ever expanding. It's always getting bigger.
Exactly.
and you think
And
we're-
there's nothing
I think
else
God
out there.
could have, but I just don't. You know what? I'll take that back. I believe it's possible, but they're not human, and there's no way of salvation for them.
Damn. So they're just fucked.
but no, but that isn't
Oh,
no,
sorry.
but
No, it's all right.
but by that rationale, by that rationale, you believe that God is the Alpha and Omega, the creator of everything, correct?
Yes, of
He
course.
created every single universe in the solar system, of our known solar system, and those beyond our comprehensions. So if a presence of life form were on a different planet, then therefore they should have been created by God as well, correct?
Just like sheep and lions and stuff. They're animals.
But do you think those are unsavable demons?
Just like my dog isn't saved.
What? Your dog won't go to heaven with you, dude?
No, it's not in the Bible, buddy. I'm sorry.
You don't think so?
They just call them living souls.
Interesting.
There's no spirit.
Wow.
They never speak of spirits with animals. They just call them living souls, which souls die.
Dude, then what's going to happen when my dog dies?
There's going to be better dogs up there.
Better dogs than my dog, dude. Have you met my dog?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. But I'm pretty.
My dog is pretty badass.
I mean, he's a little shithead sometimes, but
I'm pretty sure if you ask Jesus, he might hook you up. He'd be like,
with a
"All right,
better dog,
for you, I might.
it's like, dude, this dog
I sent
has
Ed
big
to
old
that
titties.
podcast. Instead of Jesus.
Man, my
As your
cat
Lord and
has not
Savior.
returned after a few days, bro. Seriously, like we were like, "Where's our cat? Where's Storm at?"
See, cats though, cats are evil.
Yeah, oh, you think
They're not in the Bible.
Cats, because cats don't give a shit about anything.
Hey.
They're just like, give me food, dude,
Bro.
If there's
and I
one,
might let you pet me.
it's one thing I know about cats is they can see demons.
That is guaranteed. Animals can see the other side. In the
think
Bible.
so?
For a fact. Read the
you
book. It's
serious?
all in the book, bro. It's all in the book. Okay, there's a guy on a donkey, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to cross a bridge. There's an angel in the way. The guy can't see it. The donkey can. That's where the dumbass speaking comes from. But anyways, he like keeps seeing the donkey. He's like, go, go, go. And the donkey wouldn't go because he sees this giant angel on this bridge or on this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What
bro.
is the angel trying to do to him though?
Stop him, make him turn around. I
Turn
believe.
around or some shit. Yeah.
So they could see him for sure.
Wow.
They can see the other side, guaranteed.
Did you ever see that movie
Bro,
Constantine?
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching that
With the
recently.
cat.
He with a cat?
Yeah, he's like-
hell. He gets sucked into hell.
Wow. Yeah.
That I do believe.
I was watching.
That's
that
one of my
today.
other favorite superheroes.
Yeah.
Next to Deadpool.
Damn, for real, bro. That's pretty cool. I never heard of that. Like where the animals can see
Yeah, it's in the Bible.
the spiritual plane or whatever. Damn,
Yeah.
that's so crazy.
And then Trump got shot at 6:11. Ephesians 6:11.
So what do you
We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities, powers, and spiritual wickedness in the heavenly places.
do you
Who knows?
Do you
though?
think like Trump is like a prophet or like
I think he's like a
like-
Cyrus.
Cyrus?
Cyrus in the Bible was like a king that just followed God's will in a way. So I think he's like that. I think that there could be leaders that do not follow his will and do follow his will.
This guy was on my personal podcast years back. The stuff he was talking about, like a lot of government stuff like that. The government actually came after this dude and tried to put him in jail.
What?
Because what were we talking? Do you want to share that?
Not really. That's fine.
Dude, I just got off the FBI watch list, dude.
Bro,
Put me back
I
on
was
the
like,
bed.
what? He called me. He's like, dude, take that podcast down, dude. They're trying to put me in jail or whatever. I was like, what, for real?
Yeah. Illuminati.
Yeah, and then he came on this podcast on episode 45, and he was real careful. Like, dude, all right, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to go to jail.
It's different. It's different than the Revolutionary War, and it's different than the Civil War now. And the reason is, during the Revolution and Civil War, where'd you get your food?
On the
Outside.
ground.
You grew it.
Yeah.
Where do you get food from now?
In the
McDonald's.
store.
That's right. So who has the control?
Companies.
Go.
Ronald McDonald.
Companies. Well, the companies are in bed with the government.
Of course they are.
Well, you know that there are only three.
Well, because the
if you
lobbyists, the companies pay the lobbyists,
Hold
so
on,
that the
hold
government.
on.
can-
What were you saying?
You know that there are only three major large organizations that own the world, right?
Coke.
No. There's like one's called Black Ship. One is I can't remember the two other names, but like
BlackRock or
something like that. Like three organizations own everything. Three, and each one of them is just ruled by one dude. Wow, it's insane to think about. But that's the world we're living in.
those three companies are owned by the same guy.
No. Each one is owned by one guy.
Okay,
So it's only three
and they
dudes
own like
that are
all the
all-
markets, all whatever's
Everything. They own every company you can ever think of. Those three.
globally.
Globally.
Oh, wow, that's so crazy. Bro.
You should YouTube that because that's fascinating. when you're thinking about like how everything is intricate and working like on our market where we're like we're worried about inflation and things like that. It's because it's real. And it's all puppeteered by major corporations, who is then puppeteered by a smaller group of people, who is then puppeteered by three people.
Damn.
What does the Bible say about that?
Yeah.
He's gonna win in the end.
Oh, come on, bro.
It's the truth.
Don't hit us with that one, bro.
He's gonna win.
I thought you were gonna have
Spoiler
something like,
alert.
well, the three people beget them.
He said it's at the end of the book.
Hey, I'm telling you, the only word that I remember from all of the Bible is beget.
It is. It definitely is at the end of the book.
What did you say?
Read
Is
Revelation.
beget. That's the one word from the Bible that I really remember, because I remember my mom used to read us the Bible before school.
Yeah.
And we would always get stuck on like, and then Joseph begat Mary, and Mary begat the twins. You know what I mean? And I'm like, this is the boring part of the book.
Dude, you're reading
the creation.
You were reading the beginning of Matthew.
Yeah, one of the.
That's the boring one. Go to John. I'm just saying.
Hey,
Crazy, bro.
so do you believe in the gospel of Mary Magdalene?
No,
No.
because it's not confirmed by the other books.
That's like a canon. It's called canon or something like
Yeah,
that.
canon. So the Catholic Church came together and said this book, this book, this book, this book. But the way they got this book, this book, this book, it was the same way Jesus was confirmed through the Bible.
So
What
was
about the
Catholicism-
Shroud of Turin?
Turin.
The Turin.
Yeah.
The Turin.
What is that?
I think that's legit.
That's legit. Is that in the Bible though?
Yeah. They covered him with the shroud and then laid him in the tomb.
Well,
so it's in there.
Isn't there like
It's a
there's like a
story in the Bible?
sheet that has like writings on it?
Yeah, they got it up in like Italy or something. But it's in the book. It's in there.
Okay.
It could be wrong, it could be right. Who knows?
Yeah, it was found in one of the now basilisks that's up there in the
See, I don't even really know what it's called. So you know what I mean?
yeah.
I just know the Shroud of Turin or whatever.
Yeah.
Man,
And Jesus was a brown dude. Just let you know.
What'd you say?
Definitely.
He was a brown dude. He wasn't.
A brown dude.
It had to be.
He was
There's
not
a lot
white.
of sun out there, bro. Shoot, he can't
lot of
not
sun.
get brown. Bohemian Grove, says Ronnie Martinez. Appreciate you, Ronnie,
Moloch.
being in the chat.
Is that's where all the
The
Illuminati?
The elites.
Yeah.
go.
Talk about demon worship.
Damn,
Bohemian Grove is
bro.
definitely.
That's where they eat the babies, right?
Nah.
No,
Hillary-
they
Hillary
don't.
Clinton.
That was Bale.
Oh,
It's when they burned a huge ass owl in the middle of the forest, and they
Burning Man.
They started.
Do you think they do that? Like eat babies and stuff?
No.
Like, is that?
They eat the adrenochrome, dude.
I know.
Stay young.
I know. There's a story of some guy who was taking his young son blood infusions because he wanted to live forever.
Oh wow. Crazy.
He was taking blood infusion from his son.
From his youngest son to live forever. Yeah,
Did it work? He's still alive.
Yeah, he was not well in the head.
I just want to know if my dog's in heaven, bro.
He already told you no, dude.
I'm not. Hey, listen.
Hey, but you're gonna get a big titty dog. In here, dude.
This guy. Everything's obscure. I could say wrong, right? I could be wrong, dude. If I'm wrong, man, I'm wrong. But dude, I'll tell you one thing I'm right about. It's Jesus.
All right.
Yeah.
I dig it.
There is actual proof that he did walk the earth. It's one of those things to where like
Really?
yeah, there's historically speaking, like yes, there is evidence of
But
an individual who has
This
this.
fits the description of
Yeah,
Jesus.
Jews wrote about him,
But
and he wasn't very popular with them.
I can see how people back then wouldn't like a dude like that walking around like, I'm the son of God. And they're like, dude, I asked you if you wanted a sandwich.
Let me wash your feet in oil.
Dude, every time you bring this guy around, crazy shit.
It probably happened like that. Even Jesus' brothers didn't like him, bro. For real.
Well, yeah,
They made fun of him.
He was like, because he's all like, well, I guess I should pray for the meal. It's like, dude, oh, God, dude. It's always this guy, dude. I just want to eat some lamb, bro. And you gotta, well, hold on, let me bless this meal. I was like, dude, shouldn't dad be doing that?
He's like,
Dude, that's funny, man.
he's doing party tricks. He's walking on water. Watch this, guys.
It's like,
Hold my wine.
and then Matthew's back there going like, dude, this was my birthday party, dude. Why does Jesus always got to do that?
Man, that's because I was before coming to the show, I was like nervous. I was like, it's the first time doing something like this. And I was like, yeah, what are we gonna talk about? We're already an hour and 30 minutes in, and we'll be talking about all kinds of stuff, man. So,
Dude,
I appreciate y'all being here, man.
Oh, yeah, of course.
dude, I'm a chatterbox, dude. I'll talk all day.
Yeah, man, that's appreciate. And those in the chat, appreciate you guys. Ronnie Martinez and Kaylee Diaz, appreciate you guys, man. Is there anything y'all wanna discuss or talk about?
Can I plug my stuff?
Yeah, plug your stuff.
Oh, plug your stuff. Hell yeah, man.
So I don't know if you know who I am. My name's Andy. I do stand up. Well, I do stand up here at Mesquite Street Pizza. We do it every Thursday. If you want to show up to that, that's free. It's open mic. It might suck though sometimes. So I can't guarantee it's always gonna be good. I got a show next week in Jefferson, Texas. It's like the only bar that's there in Jefferson, Texas. So look it up. It's me and Steve Espinoza.
Only bar does that.
Yeah, it's like Jefferson's not big. And then in August, I don't know exactly what day, but if you want to look it up, Jazz Room on Airs. I'm gonna be doing a show with probably Joe Hilliard.
Oh, nice.
Another guy named Sweet Tea. Also, I've got a podcast too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So it's actually I'm a co-host on the podcast. It's called Sports with Roland.
Yeah.
And if you like any of the crazy shit that I say even crazier shit there. So
Definitely.
if you want to listen to that, please listen. We're on Spotify. I think we just started doing YouTube also.
Hell yeah, bro. Yeah, I'll be tuning in. I'll definitely get subscribed. For sure. With Joe, she said. And
Yeah, Joe Hilliard.
Go, Joe Hilliard.
Well, no, he's not on the podcast, but
The Jazz Room is airs and it's my first time hearing about it. Airs and
it's I think it's like 14th. It's
Okay.
the Jazz Room is over there. You remember where Nuevo Cafe is?
yes.
It's that next group of buildings
Oh,
right
so
there.
near 6 points. Near 6
Yeah.
points. Okay.
So it's right there. It's small. So I mean, if you want to follow me, I'll put the flyer. I'm on Facebook, Andy Gomez.
Is it Andy Gomez comedy or just
No,
Andy
it's just
Gomez?
Andy Gomez.
Okay.
I've got a comedy page, but I don't really check it. So just friend me. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, right? You got to start all these pages.
Yeah,
you got to keep
dude.
up with all of them.
I think that's the biggest thing that hinders me from being like a big comedian is the marketing of
The
it.
marketing, bro.
I can tell
Wow.
jokes. I made y'all laugh.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? But
He has like 25 missed messages of like wanting to book him.
dude, I swear to God, the other day I looked up message. I
Wow.
looked up messages like, why is this red dot always there? And I clicked on it, and some guy goes, "Hey, can you send me a 5-minute thing?" It was like from 3 months ago. He's like, "Well, I want to book you here in Houston." I was like, "Oh shit, here it is." He hasn't got back to me since
Hell
then.
yeah, man. All right, Anthony, can you plug some of your stuff?
Sure. My name is Anthony Diaz. I am the host of 50 States of Terror, podcast about cryptids from each state. Doing a little historical dive from each state as well. I'm now doing international editions. I do paranormal. I do now aliens, conspiracy theories, and things like that, just to spice up the show a little bit. And they're fun to do, fun to research. I also host Narrative Quest, where I read my stories. I'm an author. I write horror, fantasy, sci-fi. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Apple Podcasts. I'm on vocal.media. You read my stuff. I think that's it. Yeah.
You said my stories like it's like the novellas. It's like I gotta read my stories, dude. My stories come on at 4:00.
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
That's not a bad idea. I should probably write scripts from novellas now.
no kidding, bro. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about like AI, like how, because people could just like write a story with that now, like Chat GPT. Hey, write me a story.
yeah.
Dude, where was
I-
that
You
when
feel
I
like-
was in
do
high
you
school?
feel like
dude?
that's like competition? I mean, you as an author.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it is. I remember my bros from Recycled Corn were over here, and they're telling a story about how they use AI to write a script for their show.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, man, y'all are just fucking God, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
But like a lot of our friends are artists, so like when you're talking about AI and people selling AI work as their own, and they steal from other artists, like it's just not it's not something that I support, because what you're doing really is you're taking someone else's like hard earned hours worth of work and like modifying it through AI services and putting it as your own, and like it's just not cool.
It's kind of like fraud, like fraudulent. Or...
Yeah, and as an author, I see how it can be used as a tool. Like maybe if you're stuck on something and you're asking AI,
Yeah.
like, hey, like how can a character do this, or give me a prompt and let me do the rest of it. I can see that, but I don't use it. No, I think it stunts creativity on a base level.
Yeah.
You know,
If you use it, yeah, I can
if
see
you use
that.
it like a
If you use
lot,
it too much.
yeah, then what you're doing is altering someone else's work, and it's not really yours.
Yeah. Right on. You want to plug your stuff, Ed?
Yeah, for sure. I told my boxing coach I'd plug him in here.
Oh yeah.
Israel Barboza, BT Boxing and Fitness. He's across from Greenwood. I don't know the address. You can find him on Facebook. He's a cool guy.
Boxing is kickboxing or just strictly
Regular
boxing?
boxing.
Oh, okay.
Regular boxing. And I'd also, last but not least, like to thank the Holy Spirit for that one, because that was a tough one. I didn't even know what I was going to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate y'all coming on the show, man. If there's nothing else you want to share, we gotta head out. My kids and my wife. I'm thinking about them now. So,
No Mexican food this time?
oh, you want to get? Well, see if it's open. We'll grab some if it's open. Yeah, if y'all want to, you want to go to the Mexican
No,
restaurant.
I gotta get up work early tomorrow morning, man.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah. Sorry, it's kind of late, but
No,
anyways,
this is fantastic. This is fun.
Oh yeah,
yeah, y'all enjoyed it.
yeah.
It's you see it brings to light, like we can have a civil conversation given different points of views. You know, it's not. I mean, if you want views, I can throw a chair real quick and we can.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's awesome.
You know what else? You know, I mean, I know I'm not
Yeah.
trying to like,
Yeah, go ahead.
but I like your podcast because it shows that Corpus has talented people, dude.
Oh,
like
yeah.
really, really talented people that you wouldn't
Yeah.
even know about. Especially because I've noticed that if you try to invite Corpus out for a show and stuff like that, unless they're like, well, I don't know this guy, I haven't seen him on TV or anything. But
Yeah.
like, if you come out to local stuff, there's local people here that are badass.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just support local, dude. This is a good way to get people out there.
Yeah.
I watch this podcast to see what kind of cool people fucking Michael White fucking right.
Hell
dude.
yeah, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, you're doing good things, man.
Appreciate
you're
that,
doing
man.
good things. I'm excited to see how this pops up.
Yeah.
Like you taking the show maybe to San Antonio or Austin,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
doing satellite shows, man. Yeah, you're right. Like
It shows that Corpus Christi's got talent, dude.
So take it to San Antonio. What do you mean along the lines of that? Just interviewing people from that city?
Hey,
or-
remember how we were talking, like, and you're asking like what's possibly the next step and to build the show.
Yeah.
Like you could possibly just take this show on the road and be like, well, now this is the San Antonio original, edition. You take the show to the road and invite San Antonio people out. Maybe go to Austin and just hit up Texas.
That's cool.
You know,
Yeah, it's a good.
I mean,
idea.
honestly, in my opinion, this show is probably like easily top 5 of all Corpus Christi podcasts, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Because it's just phenomenal. You have great people like
Yeah, shout out to Maya, the producer back there, and Produce Sound Studios, which is where we're broadcasting from, here in downtown Corpus Christi, Texas. So yeah, this place is really nice.
hell yeah.
Yeah, man. And that feedback really helps out because people are like, "Oh, I like your podcast." I'm like, "Well, why do you like it?" You know, and just hearing that, like, I could interview somebody that's in the city and somebody and they might put their show out. They could be like, here's a link of our podcast on with this guy if you want to know more about us or whatever.
You know what
I mean?
you need next? You need someone who is like a political figure and start asking the real hard questions coming up with like voting season. Like I think your platform could be like the very next like big segment on an NPR show.
Dude, just
You know?
trying to get you shot, bro.
Not with this guy talking.
I'm a dumb guy.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on, man. So, anyways, we'll say goodbye, man. We'll do the handshake real quick. Appreciate you guys, y'all coming
Hell
in.
yeah.
Coming in.
Oh, you're gonna ask the HEB question.
Which HEB? Yeah, this is the Mexican goodbye. We say goodbye and then we keep talking. So, which HEB do y'all shop at? Which HEB do you avoid?
Every HEB, please sponsor me. I love them all. Where's the camera? Camera here. I love every single HEB. Please sponsor my show.
50 States of Terror, hit them up. Hell yeah.
I go to the Weber HEB.
Oh, come on. That's like one of the first ones, bro.
That dude, that's my HEB. If you want to find me, I'm there.
Hell yeah.
So
Whoever HEB, bro.
Weber HEB.
Stay away from the one on Leopard, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, God doesn't like the one on Weber.
You heard it from him. Yeah.
He hit that place with a tornado one time.
It's not even wine there, bro. Not Jesus' style.
Oh, shoot.
Case of water fell. It was like, oh my God, it's flooding.
That Leopard HEB is kind of.
You actually got a Starbucks near there now, dude.
Oh yeah, I saw that they built one over there.
Going over there. So crazy, man.
So now all the hookers can be like, I'm all night long.
Yo, crazy Andy, man. Yeah, appreciate you guys coming on, man. To everybody in the chat, thanks a lot, and stay tuned for the next episode. Right, stay tuned for the next bull session, which we'll have soon. We'll probably have maybe one of these guys back and some other people coming on. Plan to have this going on. I don't know how soon, but there's gonna be another one coming out. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
Hell yeah.